Hey, this is Terry, and in this video, I want to talk about the Prisma remote control. Now, this remote is effectively a universal Primare remote in that it is designed to be able to control virtually every past as well as present Primare models. But it has a few special features built into it that go beyond that I really want to highlight and focus on in this video. We have this included with all of our home cinema models, the SP25 Prisma and the SPA25 Prisma, and that directly reflects two of these functions that are very important in those contexts. One is a simple backlight. So when you're watching a movie in the dark, it has that backlight function, which you can't really see here in the light that we are in this room. But the other one, the primary function that makes it really important for those installations, is the TV button. Now, that TV button essentially allows the remote to be able to control 1,160 brands of television out there in the world. I had no clue there were that many brands, and 160,000 models and counting. So, what it means is this can control the basic functions of virtually any smart TV display that you might have. And so what this means then for the home cinema installations is that it allows you to have a single remote to be able to control your television and then your home cinema processing equipment. Now, it's not included with our stereo models. The C25 remote is included with those, and it controls all the basic functions of those products, the Prisma model products. But where this comes in handy is when you want to integrate a stereo system as well as for TV viewing, as we have here in this installation in my friend Daniel's apartment. And so what this means is that you're able to connect a Toslink cable from the television to, say, an SC15 Prisma like we have here, and then that in turn is connected to our I15 amplifier. And that when you press the TV button on this remote, you're able to turn on the television. AutoSense in both of these products will allow them to be turned on once it selects the signal of the TV, and then the I15 senses the signal from the SC15 so that you have a single remote control that is able to control the entire system. Now, when we were designing the Prisma platform of products, we did discuss the potential of putting an HDMI input on those units, but realized that there still exists, even with eARC, Enhanced Audio Return Channel, that is the improved version of the original ARC or Audio Return Channel, there still are some inconsistencies in implementation among panel manufacturers as well as other manufacturers that means that the HDMI CEC controls that are associated with it don't function as consistently as you might like. Additionally, when you're using, say, your TV's remote control, the only control you have in that remote for the television is to raise and lower the volume. Now, we determined that if you had this Toslink connection, not only would you get all the signal necessary for a stereo output, you don't need HDMI multi-channel signal going into a stereo integrated amplifier. But what you did get is this rich, solid connection with Toslink that then, with this remote, allowed you to control not only all the controls on the television itself, but also all the controls of the Prisma models that you might have in your system. And so in the case of Daniel's system, which we have here, is that I've already described, we've connected by Toslink from the flat panel to the SC15 Prisma that he's using effectively as his preamplifier and control center, and then to the I15 integrated amplifier that we've set up with fixed input, so it's essentially acting as a basic amplifier. And so, if all goes well, I should be able to turn on the television. It will come on, and then I will select a source so that we can get the television running. And you'll notice that the SC15 is turned on now that there is even just the clicking sound from the television. And then once we provide an audio signal from the television to the SC15, that will cause the I15 to wake up, selecting the input that it senses a signal on. And here we have the lovely sound of Alphonse Oboy, a wonderful children's program, very popular here in Sweden. And so this means that whether anyone in the household wants to watch television, listen to music, they have this one remote that they can use to be able to control the entire system. And when I say the entire system, every control on the television, every control on the Prisma models that compose the audio system in place, including the DD15 CD player that Daniel has installed here as well. And so for those looking to have a remote control to control older Primare models or a system that's composed of both new and older models, for someone who wants to incorporate into their stereo system a television and have one remote to use, the Prisma remote is the one to choose. So for any more information about the remote, all the features that it might have, all the brands of televisions that it will control, go to primare.net. While there, you can look at the FAQ so that any questions you might have could be answered there. But if not answered there, then fill out a help request form, and we will do our best to answer your question as quickly as possible. Thanks.